Hi, welcome to today's MPT Tech Talks. Today we've got Andy Stodart, who's our Principal Project Manager, been 27 years at MPT, also an electric vehicle driver as well. And he's coming today to talk to us about the key challenges around EV development. So I'm going to discuss a few questions with you, Andy, today.
Hi, John.
So what's the key factors that determine the range of an EV?
Well, fundamentally, the size of the battery and how efficiently you use the energy in it.
Right, okay.
So battery capacity expressed in kilowatt hours, and you don't get to use the full capacity of the battery. Always a bit's kept in reserve that helps with the reducing the degradation of the battery, and then how efficiently you use that energy, so the energy consumption, and that's fundamentally down to the predominantly the aerodynamics of the vehicle. So a vehicle with a high coefficient of drag or a high frontal cross-sectional area will take more energy to propel it a given distance.
And what about environmental conditions?
Well, certainly that's another key factor. If you need to maintain the cabin temperature higher than a cold ambient, then that takes more energy. Likewise, if you're driving in a high ambient, then you may be consuming electrical energy running the AC system. So those also contribute to reducing the range of the
So
vehicle.
it's more about the load you're putting on the actual battery for other systems within the vehicle.
That's a bigger
consuming
factor than it would
electricity.
be on an IC engine vehicle, where at least from the heating point of view you can argue sort of get the energy for free.
Yeah, okay. So what's the main differences then between driving EVs and ICE-powered vehicles?
Well, the most obvious one when you drive them, in my experience, is the low speed torque. So electric motors produce a maximum torque from low speeds, and so you tend to get very good initial acceleration with the vehicles, although to some extent that is offset by the inevitable higher weight of a typical EV compared with a IC powered vehicle. Secondly, electric motors tend to have a much wider speed range, sort of 2 to 3 times the speed range of an IC engine, and so you can actually get away with a single gear to cover the whole vehicle speed range. So you don't have any gear changes, and in fact that one gear ratio is somewhere between sort of first and second, so it gives you quite good rates of acceleration even when you're at quite modest to high vehicle speeds. Yeah. And then the third significant difference compared with ICE only vehicles would be the regenerative braking. So when you take your foot off or ease off on the accelerator, that motor becomes effectively a generator and converts the kinetic energy of the vehicle back into electrical energy to recharge the battery. And depending on how that regenerative braking is calibrated, it's possible to actually drive the car just moderating the speed on the accelerator only, and that would be termed one pedal driving.
Oh, okay. So what's the main factors affecting the charging of an EV then?
Well, again, the bigger the battery, on the face of it, the longer it's going to take to charge it. Yeah. But equally, the bigger the battery, the faster you can put that energy into the battery. So you can use a higher charger power when you're doing that, because effectively the ratio of the charger power to the capacity of the battery, it's called a C rating, the higher that is, the more the higher the rate you're putting the energy into the battery, tends to make the cells get hotter faster, so that's where really good thermal management comes in.
And that can vary from vehicle to vehicle.
Yes.
On what it is, yes.
Yeah, and different chargers charge at high speeds, and I'm talking about the rapid and ultra rapid chargers that people would use at a motorway service station when they're on a journey, rather than the lower power chargers you might be using at home.
Yeah, okay. And so what does the capacity of the battery degrade over the lifetime of the EV?
Yes, unfortunately it does. Just how aggressive that degradation is depends on the use pattern of the battery. So if it's charged to its maximum 100% state of charge, or it's discharged to 0, either of those tends to degrade the battery more rapidly. Likewise, lots of use of rapid charging. Again, these are all factors that increase the cell temperature. That will have an effect as well. So it's best not to charge the battery very rapidly and also not charge them in, or attempt to charge them in low ambient temperatures.
It's the same from draining it all the way down to 0 and then charging it back up again and keep repeating that all the time. It's better just to keep topping it up.
Yeah, so running between sort of 20 to 80% and only delivering that charging event with a low power charge, all of those extend the life of the battery.
So it's changing all our habits now is just charge it every day. Just for
exactly.
time, rather than just wait till it empties
and don't fully charge it and then not drive the car straight away, or drive to an airport, leave it fully charged and then leave it 2 weeks while you go on holiday. That wouldn't be an ideal thing to do.
So then, final question, Andy. Then it's a key question really. After driving a battery electric vehicle, would you swap back to an ICE? That's it for you then, is it?
No, I wouldn't go back.
Okay. All right, Andy, thanks for your time today. And thanks for joining us on the MPT Tech Talks. We'll be joined again soon to continue the battery development series. Okay, thanks a lot.